How's it going, lads? Today we're going to be talking about 1052 of One Piece. Now, I know this is a bit late this week, but I had some mates down from good old Donegal, so, kind of got a bit sidetracked. But now we're on the ball now, so we're going to get going. Yeah, this chapter was fantastic. I loved nearly everything about it. Let's start with the stuff I'm going to start with the stuff I wasn't too happy about. Not that I wasn't too happy about, but I was kind of confused on. So, for one, okay, Izo and Ashradoji are dead. Now, as you know, I was a big Ashradoji has to die. He basically looks like he's dead. But where did that Izo death go in? Izo got off screen. People showed me the panel, because the panel is when he gets shot by this one CP0 fella. But it still makes no sense, because we saw a Kiko Will You Live, but we didn't get an indication of a death at all. I'm sure this is something that the anime, with hindsight, will focus on, and it would be way more obvious, but in the manga on its own, it's a bit lackluster, to be honest, but everything else is pretty cool. Poor Al Marco just gets shafted all the time. I feel bad for the guy. Just everyone he cares about dies. We don't even know what happened to Vista. Vista's probably fucking dead already. I don't fucking know. But it's a mad thing. It really is. Though we get a nice scene though with I think it's Count Matsu and I can't remember who the other one was. I think it was Kinemon. A nice scene where they're we gotta live on for the best. And I know a lot of people were complaining about Kiku not grieving, but it actually stands up to the message of we don't really show grief because it shows that they may have regrets and we don't want them to die in regret. So it's kind of nice to see that they stick to that theme for this. I enjoyed that anyway, personally. Now, my favorite part of this chapter was the scene when Zoro wakes up and he's like, I'm here, I must have been brought back to fulfill my promise to you, Sanji, and starts to beat him up. Okay, but also the really cute scene where Yamato is putting plates on Momo's head to make him look like Odin. I don't know, is he going to join the crew or not? Yamato's really confused me at this point, because we don't get a confirmation from Luffy or anything like that. We get you're cool, Yama bro, thank you, that must be why I'm feeling so great. But he never says to him whether he wants them to join the crew or not. But Jinbei, we have a bad scene later on, and Jinbei seems to have taken a liking to him, so that's probably going to be all good. But I haven't put all my eggs in that basket yet. I'm still praying. Speaking of that bad scene, I don't know about you, but if you have the color spread from the volume, the big box set, it actually looks like the big box set volume, at least the Luffy art. It almost looks exactly the same, which is really cool. I don't know if it's a little reference to the fact that the manga box set released. I assume it released earlier in Japan, so probably not. But I thought that was cool either way. But one interesting thing about this chapter, which I want to touch on a little bit, is Nico Robin just isn't showing at all. And we don't realize this. It was actually pointed out to me on Twitter, because we don't realize this until you go back and read it. She's not in the chapter at all, but yet no one's panicking. So it's a bit confusing, to be honest with you. And then we know earlier on in the chapter, the Gorosei are we need to go get Nico Robin. We need to go and catch her and stuff. Which would make sense, but none of the Straw Hats are panicking or anything like that. So it's very confusing. And I'm trying to remember. She left with Brook, so Brook definitely saved her, and Brook is there, so Brook would have known if she was taken and would have been apologizing to Luffy immediately. There wouldn't have been any delay. They would have been on that straight away. Now, obviously, it could be as simple as she's reading the road poneglyph. They're not going to show us the discovery of the road poneglyph. They might flash back to it at a later date when they're leaving Wano or something. Because although people are saying Oda's rushing Wano, I feel like he's leaving the smaller gaps for the anime to fill in. He's trying to get the important stuff done in the manga, the real important stuff. And he's leaving a few gaps, for example, Hiyori meeting Momonosuke, which I would have considered a major moment, but I guess in the grand scheme of thing isn't. Or Robin finding the road poneglyph. But again, the road poneglyph is something I would consider important because it's it's a big thing. Now, it could just be she's reading the poneglyph that's behind the door, which I don't know if I was found to be a rogue poneglyph or what. But it is interesting, though, to think about where she could be. Now, it could be a thing where CP0 tries to catch her again. Or, as we see in the end of the chapter where Ryukogyu is coming, he could be there to capture her, and then we see that's why they did the 7-day time skip, so Luffy's full strength again and can finally kick an Admiral's ass. Is that what we're going to see? Or are we going to see Zoro pull the King of Hell first mate stuff? If we get the new monster trio, we got the Emperor of the Sea has his own monster trio now, and we get Yamato, Zoro, and Sanji all coming up against the Admiral, being like, you won't go near Luffy. And like Luffy's just sitting there, like, I'll take him on. And they're like, nah, don't waste your energy, bro. Don't waste your energy. And we just, like, Zoro and Yamato just give a bolt of Conqueror's Haki, knock out any Marines that are there, or not Marines, but knock out any of the surrounding public. And Sanji just goes straight in for the attack, like full-on proper attack, and we see if his ability stayed or what he's going to do, and if he has to adapt or if his body feels weird again, and he has a little scuffle, and then Yamato and Zoro come in from the side and attack Ryukogyu, like both of them. They come in from the side. Ryukogyu might block it like this with his arms, or maybe his plants will come up over his arms and block it for him. And then we'll just have a little scuffle to show off his techniques. I don't necessarily think he's a bad guy in a sense. I don't think he is looking to harm the Straw Hats in any way at all. My only viewpoint on Ryukogyu is that he's going to have a little scuffle with the new monster trio. And if we don't get confirmation in the next chapter about Yamato and the crew, he'll probably be replaced by Jinbei in that squad. So we'll have Sanji charge in front, we'll have Zoro. Oh no, we'll probably have Zoro in the front, boost the Conqueror's Haki, goes for the attack, and then Sanji and Jinbei on both sides attack, and then it's blocked by Ryukogyu that way. Something like that. And then we see him show off his abilities. We see what level he's kind of at. We might see some minor building destruction. You know, pretty chill fight to end the arc on. And then he's like, and then he might say, "I see why Fujitora liked you guys." And then he's gonna be our lore dump for what happened outside of Wano, because Luffy's gonna be asking questions probably, or not really. He's probably gonna tell them about the new bounties, and that's how Luffy's gonna find out. He's probably pretty chill with Luffy. Might even tell him about what's going on with Sabo, because he fought him directly. Because I'd say he appreciates Luffy for saving Fujitora's country, at the least Fujitora, if not his own country. So it'd be nice to see. And then Mr. Morge's theory on whether he's Zoro's father, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I do think, as someone was saying on Twitter, that the major way he's going to play in is basically reforesting Wano. Because he's like, alright, I'll do this. And he does that. Because we do see the world government are focused on when it comes to taking back Wano. So the Marines aren't necessarily focused on that. If anything, Sakazuki probably sent him in to survey what's going on. Because he said he doesn't care about Wano that much. And I doubt there's anything they are trying to achieve. Because they know Kaido and Big Mom's down. They're probably just trying to survey what's going on with Luffy. And what they should be preparing for when he gets out of there. Because they obviously can't attack him right now. So they're sending what would be considered a friendly face, quote unquote, to kind of survey what's going on in Wano, who the new leader is, what his sort of vibe is, how much of a worry he is for the Marines, and all that jazz. But next chapter's gonna be interesting, because the thing is about it is it's gonna be a big lore dump. I have a feeling we're gonna get the bounties. Oh, those bounties, boys. Oh, all right. I'm looking forward to those bounties. I'm not gonna talk about what I think the bounties are gonna be. I think Luffy's gonna be 4.5 billion. Like, it's triple his bounty he is now. I think Blackbeard would have gotten a bounty increase as well. I know this is off, but like, I think so. I think Zoro is probably gonna be something like 2 bill on the dot or something, and then Sanji will be like 1.7 bill, and then Yamato will be half of Kaido's, which is what? So Kaido's is like 4.6. I've been saying 3.6, but it's 4.6. So that's what? 2.3. So Zoro's will probably be 2.5 bill, then Yamato's will be 2.3, and then Sanji's will be like probably just 2 bill, or like, yeah, Sanji, they'll probably just do like 2.007 or something. So it's like 2,700,000,000 2,700,000,000 or something. Because I know 7s have to be in Sanji's bounty for the most part. So I think that's going to be around for the major players. Jinbei is probably going to get a nice round 500. Let's see. Hopefully Nami gets a lovely increase. I'm hoping 3-4 million. Usopp probably going to go up to like 450 million. Frankie 500 million. You know, they're all going to go up in certain ways, but we're not going to talk about it in detail. That's not the important part. We're going to see who the new Yonkos are. There was an interesting talk about a volume cover 25, foreshadowing who that might be. So we got Blackbeard, we got Luffy, and we got Buggy and Shanks, which I think is really cool because it's subverting your expectations. Because you're expecting Kid and Law to become the new emperors, and that's what's set up at the beginning of the end of this chapter. So it'd be really cool if we saw someone like Buggy just sweep in here, like he did something unbelievable to the crew or something, to like the Marines that came to capture him in some miraculous way. It might even have been Shanks and Buggy kind of took the credit, you know, because maybe he was trying to assist his old pal, because we know Shanks still cares for Buggy a little bit, and maybe it was just on his way to whatever he was doing. Now that's just a theory. It could be something else. We could find out that Buggy has like someone really powerful on his side, or maybe it's just the fact that he has a bunch of impel down criminals and they're a lot stronger than I'm giving them credit for. That can entirely be it, but at the end of the day, realistically, I feel like it is going to be either Law or Kid, you know, but at the same time, I'd love if it was Buggy. You know what I mean? I really would. And the thing is, we can have our 5th emperors because we know that exists already. So it could be just having like Buggy and then Kid or Law, and then Luffy's still the 5th emperor. We could have something like that. That's entirely possible. I don't know though. What do you guys think? I'm really looking forward to the next chapter. I think Ryukogyu is going to be really cool. I don't know. We haven't got a lot of closure on Zoro at the minute. So we don't know what's going on with him. I've heard a lot of people are disappointed because he didn't kill Kaido, he didn't kill Orochi. His entire plot point from Act 2 is dropped. I don't agree with that because the whole plot point of him was he was wandering around Wano, and he was kind of learning about his home country, learning to love it, and he got to interact with the only Shimotsuki, as far as I'm aware, that's in Wano at the moment, in Yasue, and really connect with him and really connect with his heritage and understand more about Ryuma and the legacy that Shisui has. So I feel like that was his main goal. Obviously, well, not his main goal, but that was Oda's main purpose. Yeah, he said he'd kill Orochi, but at the end of the day, that was the same way as the Scabbards would say they'd kill Orochi. Because he started to care for the country, and everyone was saying, I'd kill Orochi. But obviously, killing Orochi had to come down to one of the Scabbards or Hiyori. It could not be Zoro. And Zoro, as the right-hand man, did the second best thing he could have done. Had a great fight with Kaido to protect his captain momentarily, on top of having a really nice fight with King where he actually struggled. Like, if that's not character, and we also get backstory on his swords. If that's not character development for Zoro, I don't know what is. And Sanji had one of the best build-ups on Whole Cake Island, which was my favorite arc, and probably still is. I'm not gonna say Wano is until I finish my rewatch, and until it's finally over next chapter. But it's very close. But Whole Cake is still my favorite at the minute. So to have it build on top of what we saw in Whole Cake, it's fascinating. I loved it, bro. It was great. It was, I loved it so much. And then, okay, so that's my point, right? But are we going to get something like Green Bull talking about Zoro? He recognizes Zoro, or is Yamato going to say something to Zoro and how she resembles the numbers? And are we going to get a part where, you know, Zoro talks to, is it Ushimaru? Not Ushimaru. Yeah, Ushimaru and whoever the other daimyo is, because Chopper finds out how to undo the smile fruits and undo the numbers transformations. So, I don't know, we could see a lot more lore dropped on Zoro pretty soon, to be honest with you. If not, then that's cool, but there is a lot that could be done. I'm quite excited. Now, One Piece is going on break for the next four weeks after next chapter, which I know might sound terrible, which it is. It's terrible, but I'll still be producing content because, you know, I have tons of ideas, as you can see from the TikToks. So I'll just TikToks. So you'll see what I mean. I've got a ton of stuff to talk about, including stuff from this chapter and the next chapter. I'm very excited. I hope you are as well. The next week of One Piece is going to be fantastic, and then we're going to get 4 weeks where Oda's going to tighten up the story, which I'm really looking forward to. Personally, I don't know about yous, but I am. I'm really looking forward to see him tighten up the story, because I feel like he had seen he's over-ambitious with Wano. I think he stuck the landing. I feel like I doubted him in 1049, but then I did an entire rewatch of Wano, and I'm like, nah, everything's so immaculately done. Now, obviously, I'm rewatching the anime, so the anime could have fixed a few pacing issues here and there, which is unusual for the anime. So, not to say it's the actual manga there, but I will eventually reread the manga, and I will give my opinion on that. But yeah, what did you guys think of this chapter? I really enjoyed it, but what do you think is going to happen with Nico Robin? Do you think we're going to get more information on Zoro? Do you think Yamato's entrance to the crew is almost confirmed? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe for more content from me. And with that being said, see you all later. Goodbye!